Are you chronically online? Has your sense of humor hit a wall? Do you think this is funny? I used to think that well thought out jokes were funny, and now I laugh at a puppet turning its head. What happened to my sense of humor? Being online happened. The internet has introduced a new kind of comedy. There's memes, of course, but there's also sounds and GIFs and multi-layered jokes. Has this changed our sense of humor as a culture? Maybe, yeah. I think so. Hi friends, I'm Ashara and I make videos at the intersection of sociology, psychology, technology, and media. And today I want to get into how the internet has changed our perception of humor as a whole. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the meme. Now, according to Britannica, a meme is a unit of cultural information spread by imitation. Now, there isn't an exact origin for memes. Looking at memes as symbols of information, they've actually been around for forever. And the term meme comes to us from evolutionary biology Richard Dawkins. According to the New York Times, in his 1976 book, The Selfish Gene, Richard Dawkins' original conception, a meme, was analogous to a phoneme, or the smallest unit of sound in speech, or a morpheme, the smallest meaningful subunit of a word. Some early memes include Pepe the Frog, the "this is fine" dog, and the angry grumpy cat. You know what I'm talking about? Now, I never got into Pepe, but that little dog, he's me. He speaks to me on a spiritual level. And since then, we've been blessed with a multitude of memes. Like, some of my favorites include Margot Robbie crying, like as Barbie, Kim K crying. Well, actually, there's just a lot of crying, really. I mean, same TBH. There's the guy thinking meme. There's the I love New York sitting on the bed meme. There's so many, and I love them so much. Kirby Conrad, a professor of linguistics at Swarthmore College, said, "I would explain the concept of a meme, a self-replicating chunk of information, by asking someone about an inside joke they had with friends or an advertising jingle that's been stuck in their head for 20 years. That chunk of information, the joke or the jingle, self-replicates because we humans like to share and repeat stuff. When we repeat the joke or sing the jingle, that's an instance of the meme reproducing itself." And boy, do memes reproduce themselves. We've seen them all over Twitter timelines, on Instagram, mainly because they're screenshots from Twitter. We see it on Threads, I think. I'm not really on Threads, but also on TikTok, on Reels. It's literally all over social media, even on Facebook. Like, your mom posts memes. They replicate themselves and they're everywhere. That is true. So what is it that memes have done to humor? Well, in my opinion, and it's my opinion, I think memes have shortened the jokes we tell into symbols of the jokes themselves. I mean, how many times have you seen a meme being used as a response to something? Maybe you first see a joke and then people keep adding on to the joke in a thread, for example, as a tag on this joke, tag on this joke, tag on this joke, and it's just memes on top of more memes. We're not really communicating much with words, but the meme itself has now become a symbol for a new joke that's being added on to the previous joke. It's kind of made it so that a written setup and punchline are not really necessary to tell a joke anymore. And you know what else has done this? Sounds. Finish the sentence. I'm looking for a man in finance. I don't want to eat the candy, but the... Ariana, what are you? Period, period. The girls that get it. And the girls that... I sincerely hope you were able to finish at least one of those lines. If not, I'm just chronically online and have memorized every single sound ever. These are all sounds that have been used thousands of times to tell jokes online. Okay, so what exactly is a sound though? Well, it's a snippet of audio taken from another source. This could be like a movie, a TV show, music, or even another creator, and then it's used to make other videos. The audio / the sound is separate from the video on screen, but the audio itself is the joke. No audio, no joke. What's unique about this to me is that there doesn't really seem to be a setup and punchline. Or maybe it's all punchline. So what am I even talking about? In the traditional joke, you have what's called a setup and a punchline. Let's look at this example. I told the bad chemistry joke once. It didn't get much of a reaction. The first sentence, which sets the stage for us, is our setup. And the second sentence is the punchline, aka the joke, aka the part you're supposed to laugh at. Now I know this joke is not funny. I just used it for very clear example, educational purposes, okay? Don't get mad and say you didn't laugh. I also didn't laugh. But now let's look at this video.
Swerving and we swerving. Oh my God, somebody named Uno Card just said, girl, trust you will be dealt with.
I'm laughing, I think it's funny. But what was the setup? And what was the punchline? Well, the setup was the text that was on screen and the punchline was the audio itself. Yeah? That one was pretty straightforward, but let's look at another example. That one I feel like blurs the lines a little bit. Now, I'm not saying jokes have never spanned the audio and visual mediums, absolutely not, but I would argue that it's so much more common today, especially with like short comedic videos, that the joke itself is spliced between the audio and the visual. And the two things really don't have to have much to do with each other. Okay, but what does this say about society? Like, is it really that deep today? It is. One could argue that our sense of humor has been dulled as we get used to these repetitive jokes. And these jokes are repetitive, like the sounds, the memes, the audios, they trend. That's what they do by nature. But that means a lot of the same jokes trend again. Like, how often have you been scrolling through your For You page or your Explore page and you hear the same audio and you see the exact same joke from different creators? Now, I'm not gonna talk about who's copying who. That's a whole other thing. Maybe all this repetition isn't exactly a good thing. Theodore Adorno and Max Horkheimer, who are two famous social theorists, by the way. In the culture industry, enlightenment as mass deception within the dialectic of enlightenment theorized that one, popular culture within a capitalist society is a factory that produces standardized cultural goods that are used to manipulate mass society into passivity. And two, mass production leads to the homogenization of media. So same formula, same product, i.e. it's repetitive. This theory was made to apply to mass media such as film, TV, and music, and not necessarily memes and TikTok videos and reels. However, I think it could still be applied because that is what mass media has included today. Adorno and Horkheimer were not alive during the time of the internet. They died well before it, but I think if they were alive today, they would include these two things as well, to be a part of the culture industry. More than anything, these repetitive jokes don't leave much space for nuance or wit. And that's what I think it is. We've lost our wit. Now, what is wit? It's a natural aptitude for using words and ideas in a quick and inventive way to create humor. And overall, that's what I think the internet has done to our sense of humor as a culture. It's made us less witty. So the jokes themselves are shortened, which makes sense because we've got shorter attention spans. Now, shortened jokes to me make sense in the era of social media because everybody's trying to like click to the next video or click to the next meme or just scrolling. So you want to catch someone's attention and tell your joke quickly before they get too bored and they lose their attention and they move on to the next thing. Like, I get it. So for someone to communicate a joke that is a bit more complex or includes wordplay or just goes beyond the average text of one sentence on a screen and the audio that's trending, it's just not happening as much. But the more we consume humor that is witless, the less we are able to practice our skill of wit. And is wit important? I would argue so. I think it's a reflection of your critical thinking and communication skills, which if you look at like our public schools these days are definitely on the decline. So I guess that makes sense. That's a whole other video too. And this isn't to say that people don't understand smart jokes and that people don't make smarter jokes or longer jokes or complex jokes. That's not true at all. I just think the majority of what we see isn't that. And so we find things that are less nuanced to be more humorous. And that is how we've gotten to laughing at a puppet, aka Elmo, turning his head to the screen or just blankly staring at the camera. That's how we think that's funny. At least I think that's funny. Because it is. If you don't know this Elmo meme, I'm gonna put in a clip and hopefully that'll explain. If not, Google it. I don't know, where have you been?
Rocco, 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 our favorite rock.
And with memes and sounds, I think you could argue that we've lost linear storytelling when it comes to most jokes. Like the sounds layered on top of the text, on top of the video, those seem to be non sequiturs. For example, explain this to a Victorian child. Very difficult to do. Now, I'm not saying this is a good thing or a bad thing. I truly got no moral judgments on the matter. It's just something that I've been seeing and then just something I've been hypothesizing. So what do you think? Like, do you think the internet has made us witless or dulled our senses to wit? Has made a lot of things funny that we really wouldn't think were funny that long ago? Well, that's really all I've got to say on the matter. If you have something to say, let me know, because I would love to chat about it. Let me just say, if you got to the end of this video, you're a real one. You're a real one. And I want you to know that. Okay, well, I'm not gonna drag this whole goodbye out and make it Akko Taco. Okay, well, this is the part where I beg you for engagement. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all the things. I've got tens of viewers, would love to have hundreds. That'd be nice. Okay, well, much love always. I will see you when I see you. Bye.